As promised, here it is. This is our subcast, Casting Dread, the Penny Dreadful Show. The 7th episode of Penny Dreadful is entitled Possession. It was written by showhelmer John Logan and directed by James Hawes. Now it's time for a little story. We open to Vanessa on a couch before Sir Malcolm. He is concerned. Vanessa starts to tell stories about inappropriate photographs. Then she begins to relay his past transgressions. He asks if it is Mina speaking to him. She responds somewhat. Then she revealed how he forced his own son into sexual conquest in Africa. Then she rises and books fly from shelves and desks attack. Sir Malcolm is caught in the maelstrom until Sembeni arrives and knocks her unconscious. In Vanessa's room, Victor is called. He privately examines her. She asks him if he values cleanliness. He does. And she presumes that's why he's a virgin. Then she pulls a line from Shelley right out of his head. No more let life divide what death can join together. Victor is shaken. She wants to know if the examination is finished. It has not yet begun. Victor tells Sir Malcolm that she is manifesting a deep psychosexual response from guilt or shame. Sir Malcolm says that she went out with a young man. Then, as Victor peruses Vanessa's cards, spiders spill from underneath it and threaten to overrun the room as Vanessa cries out from above. Ethan arrives. He goes upstairs. Vanessa apologizes as she isn't at her best. Ethan sweetly takes her hand. She asks him a question. She asks him if Ethan took him, or did he take Ethan, that beautiful boy of their dreams. Ethan is stunned. She fights them and has to be sedated. Ethan does not understand this. Sir Malcolm says she's been possessed by the devil. Ethan chastises Victor, but it's beyond his practice. They cannot bring a priest. Sir Malcolm says that Mr. Lyle told that she was taken by a force representing the goddess Amunet. If this force succeeds to take her, it will unleash untold horrors. Sir Malcolm asks Ethan to stay, to which he agrees. Then over a course of days, they fight to keep her sedated and alive, and they are losing. One night, Ethan is alone with Vanessa in her room. Ethan tells her that they are thinking about restraining her for her own safety. She wants a glass of water. She says that he has been very kind to her, and she probably has fallen in love with him. She apologizes to him and asks him that when the time comes, that he sent her to hell. Ethan responds that he shall send her to heaven, but he believes in the other place more, for that was the place where God cast him out. She tells him that she will not submit to him. He could choke her life out and kill the rest downstairs. Yet Vanessa says her soul would be intact. What does he want? He wants her to be the mother of evil, to rule at his side, to topple God from his throne. Sir Malcolm is downstairs with the real Ethan, preparing an expedition. While fingering a token of St. Jude, Ethan wants to know why Sir Malcolm is running. Sir Malcolm isn't running. He buried his son in Africa. He goes there again to bring his son's body home. Upstairs, another scream. Victor is smashed against the walls. Sembeni cannot contain her. Vanessa is clawing at the walls and screams out. As the tattoo of Amon-Ra and Amonet is emblazoned on her chest, she tries to scratch out her wrists, but she is restrained. Downstairs, Victor shoots himself full of drugs. He goes to the window looking out at Caliban watching. Ethan comes into the room and wants to know what Victor intends to do. He'll try vitamins, blood transfusions, anything to help her stay alive. Ethan closes the door and says he doesn't trust Sir Malcolm. She isn't his daughter, and that's the problem. Vanessa doesn't fit in either world. He's keeping her alive. Victor goes to the window as it snows, Caliban still standing unmoving in the white flakes. More days pass as Vanessa howls out and must be restrained. They are all tired and exhausted. Sembeni is outside of her room, standing as a sentinel. Ethan fixes him dinner. He wants to know Sembeni's story, but he has no story. Ethan thinks Sir Malcolm saved him, but Sembeni proposes that it could be the other way around, and that Sir Malcolm is his responsibility. Sembeni says Ethan should call a priest. Ethan wonders if Sembeni believes in God, to which he responds that he believes in everything. Sir Malcolm is alone with Vanessa. He wants her to concentrate. She is between life and death. He wants her to find Mina. Vanessa says that he wanted this to happen all along, yet he denies it. She says how cruel he is. Ethan enters, ordering Sir Malcolm to get away from her. In the hall, Ethan accuses Sir Malcolm of wanting all this to happen. A priest should be called. Victor thinks it's ridiculous and accuses Sir Malcolm of murdering his way across the continent. Before they come to blows, Sir Malcolm orders to call for a priest. Ethan warns Sir Malcolm that if he indeed allowed this to happen, he will rip Sir Malcolm's throat out. Downstairs, Sir Malcolm asks Victor for something to stay awake. Victor gives him a cocaine derivative. He tells Sir Malcolm it was given to him as a boy to fight asthma, and he developed a taste for it. The priest arrives. Sir Malcolm tells the priest that Vanessa is being controlled by another force. The priest cannot perform the rite of exorcism, as in this state it's forbidden. He can administer last rites and do his duty, but nothing more. Victor calls him a ridiculous man, and then they all ascend. The priest is shocked by her condition. He goes to give her the last rites. She knows his name. Then she bites a chunk off of his cheek and throws him across the room. She hangs from the ceiling and tears at them. She takes them all out but Ethan, who holds a gun to her chest. She begs him for death. Ethan screams at her. Suddenly, he touches the token of St. Jude and speaks an invocation. Then the thing of inside her begins to resist as he repeats the invocation of St. Jude again and again and again and again. Then suddenly, she falls limp to the floor. Ethan leaves the room and Sir Malcolm enters. She is fast asleep. Later, Vanessa dreams of the theater, where claws slash and teeth rend. Then she opens her eyes. She goes downstairs and tells Sir Malcolm that she knows where Mina is. Again, questions linger. Is it Sir Malcolm who owes Sembeni his responsibility, or the other way around? What compelled Ethan to touch and speak the invocation to St. Jude? Is the being inside Vanessa really gone? And if so, how can she still sense Mina? Moreover, if the Grand Guignol is where the vipers sleep, how will they all survive? And if they survive, will Sir Malcolm do what is necessary to save his daughter? All these questions we will seek the answers to in the season finale next time. The change of director did the show very well. The script is outstanding. The pacing is unbelievable. It sets such a tone of dread that even though you're watching a show, and even though that Ava Green is the star, you really believe that Vanessa is going to die. It's a powerful performance from Ava Green and Josh Hartnett in particular. This is the first real victory that Sir Malcolm, Ethan, and Vanessa have really had against this thing. But at what cost? Folks, we're back at the Dracula podcast. We hope you enjoyed our subcast, Casting Dread, Penny Dreadful Show. We're 7 down and 1 to go, and the last one is a doozy, and it's coming on our next episode.